I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Just this Trump MAGA world is just some of the oddest behavior in the world. I mean, especially as a lawyer, just to see what these Trump lawyers do every day is one of baffling, weird, and there's a reason that his lawyers consistently have a pattern of losing their legal licenses eventually because what the hell is going on. So Christina Bob, you know Christina Bob, she's the one who would go on TV following the search warrant executed on Mar-A-Lago on August 8th, and she would do all of those TV appearances where she would go, "It's my understanding that there was actually no search warrant. It's my understanding that I'm not sure if there was nuclear material or not. It's actually my understanding that it's possible that things were planted. It's actually my understanding." And so she would do all of that. And there was that one moment, too, where Laura Ingraham kind of just even like lost it on Christina Bob and said, if you are asking for this type of relief on Fox, why didn't you, when you had the opportunity, ask the actual judge for it? Why are you, saying that now? And she goes, well, it's my understanding that we reserve the rights to whatever. But here's the thing about Christina Bob. I thought there was someone who looked like Christina Bob who was the reporter at all of these fascist cosplay MAGA Trump rallies. And I just thought it looked like Christina Bob. I'm like, how is it possible that Trump's lawyer, Christina Bob, who is purportedly representing him in connection with this investigation into him stealing top secret, sensitive, compartmented information, how is it that she is a reporter at the same time for one of these really weird, fringy, radical right Republican networks, the one called RSBN, Right Side Broadcasting Network, and their whole existence, their reason for existing is to cover Trump rallies. And I saw someone who looked like her, and I was saying, this was, for the past 2 weeks or so, I was like, man, there's someone who looks just like Christina Bob, whose job would be to interview to interview a lot of people who attended the rally. And basically, like, these are the weirdest, like, most culty, strange interviews where the people would brag about, I'm a January 6th defendant, and I came here to show my solidarity with the insurrectionists. And then they would all be wearing, like, the weird Trump gear. And the questions that she would ask would be like, well, how much do you love Donald Trump? Isn't he the greatest man ever? Shouldn't we do anything he said? Shouldn't we pledge allegiance? Like, it was so weird. And I still, no matter, even knowing that Christina Bob is like the worst lawyer ever, and knowing how bizarre she is, and knowing that she used to be an OAN reporter, I just never thought that, wow, at the same time that she was involved in the Mar-a-Lago incident, and by the way, she was the lawyer who signed under penalty of perjury on June 3rd to the Department of Justice that all of the items were returned. Like, we've previously reported that she's had to retain her own criminal lawyer. That's making attorneys get attorneys, right? That's one of the things that MAGA stands for. So she's under criminal investigation. I think there's a probability and a likelihood that she ends up getting indicted. So I just thought, there's no way that's just someone who looks like Christina Bob. No, that actually is Christina Bob. So while she represents Trump as his lawyer, she then moonlights as this propagandist reporter for this really weird, fringy, radical extremist network, this Our Right Side Broadcasting Network, and she stands outside of his rallies and follows him around at all of his rallies and interviews people, asking questions. Oh, how great is he? Tell me, isn't he the most amazing person ever? Or aren't you excited for him? So here is a clip of her speaking to, one of the people outside the rally. Like, you'll recognize her, where she asks the person, and she's like, well, are you ready for Trump 2024? And it's funny because the person goes, well, or DeSantis. Here, play the clip.
Do you want to see him run again in 24?
I would love to, but at the same time, I'd love to see DeSantis run as well.
Oh, interesting. All right.
I think that DeSantis would do a great job. I mean, look what he's done with Florida. He's been a great governor for Florida. I don't think I would love to see them as running mates, but I think that would cause conflict.
Yeah, so I want neither of Trump or DeSantis, which would be the biggest understatement I've ever said. I mean, both of those are horrific, fascist, wannabe criminals, just disgusting and disturbing people whose main cause of their politics is hate and division and self-power over anybody else. But setting that whole thing aside, Christina Bob, why? What in the world is going on when you have your lawyer, who who likely is now under criminal investigation for her conduct in obstructing justice, doing these, following you around with a mic, interviewing all of these, MAGA people who are there? It's just one of the strangest things. But it shows you, when Trump says he hires the best and brightest, that's Christina Bob for you. That's what you get. Lawyers who moonlight as cult followers who follow you around and interview people for the fringiest right-wing extremist networks about how great you are. These people are beyond pathetic. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hey, hit the subscribe button right now. We're almost at 1 million subscribers thanks to you. And here's how you can help to support our independent media channel. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Join one of those membership tiers. We're not funded by any outside investors. It goes a long way to keeping this independent channel independent. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs. It wasn't rigged, you're just a loser. At store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.